after we escaped, uh, and keep in mind that we are now reactionary. That's it. But we were gone. My father was still in the re-education camp because of the prior illegal escape. They said, well, they could punish him, but what can they do? His family is gone. So he feels safer. Eventually, they let him out. They released him, but he now lost all the status in the society. He lost his household registration. He was deemed a dangerous element, reactionary. But he's out to make a living by himself when he was out. Remember, our family was over here in the refugee camp, and then he went to the U.S. We could be able to sponsor him, but the Vietnamese government would not allow him to go. It's just for sort of punishment for him to not to grant him an exit visa for the immigration program. But then eventually, during that time, when the Eastern Bloc countries were collapsing, the Soviet Union broke apart, and remember Berlin, the wall divide West Berlin and East Berlin fell, and there was a passage between East Berlin and West Berlin at that time. And in Vietnam, someone came up with the idea of having a tour of tourists bring to visit East Germany or East Berlin, and it was set up as a tourist, a tour group. My father heard, someone told him of that, and he was able to pay bribery to buy a ticket for that. Remember, the tourist cost was about 1,000 or something, but he paid for about 5,000. So with that, he got a tourist visa to travel to East Germany, to East Berlin. So we weren't sure that he will be able to get out, but knowing that he may be able to get out, then I was able to communicate with him and say, okay, if you ever get to East Berlin, you should try to make your way into West Berlin. And I remember at that time, we had a petition to sponsor for him to the US already. So I contacted the US Embassy in West Berlin. I said, can you transfer his petition from Thailand, we're paying in Thailand, to West Berlin, and when he show up at your door at the U.S. Embassy in West Berlin, can you process him so bring it here? Well, we contact the U.S. Embassy in West Berlin, and then the airplane did take off. It landed in East Germany, in East Berlin, and on the same day he got his way out. He tried to get his way into the train that go across to West Berlin. He did. To his surprise, that he got through. He couldn't imagine that he got through. He went to West Berlin. I had my cousin who was studying in West Berlin to pick him up at the airport and take him to American Embassy in West Berlin, and that's it. They connect the file, then they process him as a refugee there. In fact, if he become a refugee, he joined a Vietnamese refugee in West Berlin, and to process him, so then he was eventually allowed to come to the U.S. It was a rare case that we could kind of bring him in that way.